Today I want to talk about a difficult question that every unpublished writer faces. Is my book ready to query? Or in the case of indie writers, is it ready to publish? We've gotten quite a few variations of this question in the comments of live chats over the years. Questions like, have I edited this book too much? Am I being too cautious? How do I know when it is time to send my book out into the world? Do I need to edit more? Do I need to send it to more beta readers? Should I just go for it? These are questions that I can't give a definitive answer to. I can't say, revise your book 4 times and then it will be ready. Have it read by 3 beta readers and then it's time for it to go to an agent. Every writer is different, every book is different, every first, second, third draft is going to be different. So the journey and the process is going to be different too for each person and each book. So while I can't give you an exact answer of at what point you should send your book out into the world, there are some questions that you can ask yourself to help you decide if your book is ready for that next step. The first question is, what kind of changes am I making to this manuscript? This is especially important if you feel like you are reaching a point of over-editing your book. Are you making your book better, or are you just making changes for the sake of making changes? Are you rewriting that one sentence 10 times, or changing your character's occupation from candle maker to tomato farmer, even though it has 0 impact on the actual plot? Because the goal of self-revisions before you get an agent or an editor is to make the book as good as you can make it. If you have reached that point and you personally can't make it any better, you're just changing things because you feel like you have to, then it's time to maybe think about moving on to your next step in the publishing journey. Question number 2 to ask yourself, what are your beta readers and critique partners saying? Pay attention to any changes in the type of feedback and critique that you're getting. If your most recent beta readers have either been giving overwhelmingly positive feedback, or if it's just been a lot of really nitpicky things like this one sentence didn't make sense to me, then you're doing pretty well and your story might be ready. The third question, which is the most important and probably the most difficult, is what does your own instinct tell you? In the end, that is what is going to make the difference. It's how you're going to make your decision. How do you feel about this manuscript? How ready do you think it is? What makes this part hard sometimes is because we have all of these other voices in our head that are drowning out our own instinct. Voices like the overprotective voice, the one that says, this book is my baby and I don't want anyone to see it or hurt it or critique it or tell me they hate it. The good news is, if you have sent your book out to critique partners or beta readers, which you definitely should have done by now if you are thinking about querying or publishing, then you have jumped over that little hurdle and you have conquered that overprotective voice in a little way. Think of that agent as one more beta reader, and hopefully it won't be so scary. Another voice that you'll have to ignore is the negative Nancy voice. This is the one that tells you you are a terrible writer, your book is awful, no one is going to like it, no one is going to want to read it or publish it or represent it. The worst thing that can happen when you send your book out to an agent is that they will reject it, which will suck, yes. But the good news is that there are a lot of agents out there. There are more books and words inside of you, so even if one book doesn't land with any agents, you can write another one. It will be okay. Don't listen to the negative Nancy. Another voice that might drown out your instinct is a Gaston level confidence. Everything I touch turns to gold. My book is amazing. I can send out this first draft that I wrote in 3 weeks to an agent. This is not a voice that I have trouble with, but I know that there are writers who do. Beth Revis, when she was first getting published, was one of them. And this is why it's so important to listen to your beta readers and your critique partners, because they will let you know if something isn't working, if your story isn't working. Make sure you listen to those people and you pay attention and you really do evaluate whether your book could use some more work. The good news is that even if you wait forever to start querying, or if you query way too early, it is not going to be the end of the world. Maybe after a few rejections, you'll realize that your book needs some more editing, or maybe after a lot of rejections, you'll realize that you as a writer maybe aren't ready yet and that you need to write another book or two before you get an agent. Or maybe you wait 3 years and spend all that time revising one book, and it is amazing when you finally send it out and you do get an agent. The important thing is that you at some point get your work out there into the world in whatever method, in whatever timing is best for you and your book. If you are having trouble figuring out if your book is ready to query or to publish, hopefully this video will have helped. Don't forget to join us this Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time. We will be doing a write-in so we can get some more work done on our projects. We can't wait to see you there.